Welcome to the CiconePrince.com show starring your man, Cicone Prince. Cicone is an international recognized motivational speaker that focuses on personal development and leadership development. He does this through thought-provoking keynotes, life-changing books, and powerful group coaching sessions. Cicone is a transformational speaker, award-winning author, editor of a globally read online magazine, and conference host. Please welcome your host, Cicone Prince.
Welcome to the CiconePrince.com show. I'm your host, Cicone Prince. And in this episode, we're going to talk about some of the things that are holding you back. That's right, some of the things that are holding you back. You know, most of the times when you think of obstacles, you think of things that are put there to hinder you. But if you look at the obstacles as opportunities for you to grow, for you to use muscles that you didn't have because you have to get around them, you have to navigate past them, then you'll see obstacles as an opportunity for you to be a better version of yourself. They help develop you. They help put you in a place and in a position to where you can achieve more than you can right now. So going through some stuff, you grow through it as well. And oftentimes people, they don't realize that the biggest obstacle they have is right between their ears. And I'm talking about your mind. Because if you can't see where you're going, if you don't have a vision for where you're going, you're probably not going to get there. You'll probably find yourself wondering what's next. But you know, to me, planning is so important and being able to see down the road. That is so critical because it allows you to make adjustments as you go along. As you look at that goal, at that dream, at where you're heading, you can see those things that are in the way and you can make adjustments. But you know, I've also learned that you have to have people around you to help you do just that. They call it the blind spot because there's some stuff that you just can't see. But having somebody close enough to you that cares about you, that can actually see the stuff you can't, it helps you win even faster. I tell people all the time that you need to surround yourself with like-minded people who think differently. I'm going to say that again for those that are taking notes. Surround yourself with like-minded people who think differently. Meaning that y'all all are going after your goals and your dreams, but they may have a different approach to get there. That's how you grow and learn. But oftentimes people surround themselves with people that have no goals and no vision, and they wonder why they're not achieving their goals. Because the people that you surround yourself, they don't motivate you. They don't encourage you. They don't believe in you. In fact, they don't even want you to go after your goals and dreams. And it's not that they're bad people. They just haven't developed themselves to the point to where they're willing to go after theirs. But I know being around people who are like-minded, people who are going after their goals and dreams, it motivates me to do even more than I'm doing right now. So never waste an opportunity to be around people who have more than you, who think more than you, who actually have the capacity to pour into you. Because being around them helps to fuel you. But then you in turn has to fuel someone else. We become conduits. And you can share not only encouragement, you can share wisdom, you can share a smile, a laugh, a listening ear. Some people just need a touch. Some people need a warm embrace. And I know at times I've needed that. But then once I've got it, then it's up to me to give it away. And that's why I want us to understand that we shouldn't allow what we get to stop us from going further than we have. If anything, we should see what we've gotten as a gift to give to someone else. If you've been given grace, you should have something to give away. If you've been given hope, you should have something to give away. If you've been given encouragement, you should have some to give away. So when you surround yourself with people like that, they can help you achieve your goals and your dreams. But then you also know and you find out that, listen, I can actually help somebody else. I can pass it on. I can pass the baton. And so as an entrepreneur, as an individual, as a business owner, learning how to look beyond right where you are and see down the road and having the support system in place to help you get there, that is what's going to make the difference in whether or not you succeed or fail. And even if you do it without anybody's help, one thing I can guarantee you, it's going to take you longer. Anything worth doing is going to have some help. And you're going to have to put in some work. There's going to be some blood, some sweat, and some tears that go into it. But in the end, if you have those people around you, you can all celebrate together. And that's one thing I love about being around people who are going after their goals and their dreams. Because when they see you achieve yours, they know that they can get theirs as well. And especially if they helped you, well, guess what? You're going to help them. And so I want to encourage you to do that even today. And listen, I have a video fresh out the vault, which really drives this point home even more. So check out this video fresh out the vault. Hello everybody, how you doing today? This is Cicone Prince of CiconePrince.com, where we make motivation personal by introducing you to yourself. And I'm doing something a little different this week. I'm actually shooting this video while I'm walking around my neighborhood. But I wanted to take this time to actually ask you, what are you allowing to stop you from doing what it is you know you need to be doing? I mean, what are you afraid of? What's that thing that's keeping you from moving forward, going after your goals and your dreams? You know, I know sometimes we are so concerned about what it's going to take for us to actually accomplish our goals and our dreams. Oftentimes we think about what other people are going to say. We think about whether or not we're going to fail or whether or not we're going to find ourselves facing the sun. But even with that being said, what is it that you're allowing yourself to do or not do that's keeping you from your goals? What is it that you are using as an excuse to keep from going after your goals and your dreams? Because so many people have excuses. But when I told somebody several years ago, you can't deposit those. You can't deposit it. If people could deposit excuses, a lot of people would be rich. But what are you doing? What are you doing to actually make the difference in your own life, in the lives of those people around you? What are you allowing to keep you from going and moving forward towards your goals and your dreams? I know for me, when I consider the investment that has been made in me, I live by the scripture, to whom much is given, much is required. And I know for a fact that God has invested a lot in me. So I feel obligated to do something with it. I can't sit down. I can't be quiet. Told somebody the other day, the number one fear in the world is public speaking. Well, I'm afraid not to. I'm afraid not to share the gift that I have. But what about you? What is it that the world has or needs that you have? What are they waiting on from you? What's holding you back? What are you allowing to keep you from going forth, from being the person that you know you could be? What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? I mean, it's something to think about. It's something to consider. Because a lot of people, they allow so much of what people could say, or they spend their life playing the what if game. So don't let that be you. Don't be the person that's so bogged down by what could happen or what might happen, that you never put in the work, that you never step out, that you never invest in yourself, that you never go forward. Go for your goals and your dreams. You know, I wouldn't be the person I am today if I just waited. If I just wondered what other people are going to say. If I waited for the time to be right. I just had to do it. But in the process of doing it, I became a better person. And yes, I failed. Yes, I've lost. But I've learned some stuff. And I even said it, you know, either I win or I learn. And so my losses only become losses if I leave the lesson. But if I learn from what I've gone through, it's not really a loss. It becomes a lesson. So listen, don't allow anything that you're going through, anything that you're dealing with, to keep you from going after your goals and your dreams. Because those critics, the ones who aren't doing anything at all, they're going to be in that same spot next year or the year after next. But what about you? Are you going to stretch? Are you going to go? Are you going to grow? That's the question that you need to answer. Hey, look, this is Cicone Prince of CiconePrince.com, where we make motivation personal. We're introducing you to yourself. Hello, everybody. How you doing? This is Cicone Prince of CiconePrince.com, where we make motivation personal. We're introducing you to yourself. And I can't tell you how excited I am to be a part of the 30-year celebration of DJ Mike J, but also the Mental Real Estate Conference. This conference is going to be unlike anything else because it really focuses on mental real estate. But what makes it different It's the fact that you have none other than DJ Mike J that's going to be providing some incredible information with some amazing speakers. But then the after party, that's going to take it to a whole nother level. You know, one of the reasons I do what I do is because I know that within everybody, there's an opportunity for greatness. There's an opportunity for success, and there's an opportunity to make an impact. I think our biggest problem is we don't see it. So my job is to help introduce you to yourself. Because once you truly understand who you are, no one can stop you. But until you understand who you are, anyone can. So I'm glad to be a part of this event because I know that the speakers that DJ Mike J is bringing in is going to actually help you see yourself in a totally different light. And then we're also going to have Dr. Michael Freeland. He's going to be sharing some information as well. So you don't want to miss this event. If you haven't done so already, get your tickets to this life-changing event because it's going to be one for the record books. And 30 years DJing, that in and of itself is a milestone. So listen, I will see you in Kansas City for this amazing event. And I want to thank DJ Mike J for allowing me an opportunity to grace the stage with all of these amazing speakers. We'll see you there. Don't forget, get your tickets. Talk to you later. Bye. And welcome back. Man, I can't tell you how excited I am to have our guest today. He is Dr. Charles Dent, and he is a good friend of mine. We had a chance to connect here in Mobile, but listen, I'm not going to take his thunder. I'm going to let him introduce himself. So Dr. Dent, tell the people about yourself.
Hey, my name is Charles Dent. I'm originally from Augusta, Georgia. I grew up there in a part they call East Augusta. And when I was 17, my mom and dad moved to this particular part called Hetsville, Georgia. And I was living with my brothers, and I decided I'm going to move even in my senior year of high school. And so my mom tried to convince me to stay there, but I said no. But after a while, I joined the military. I joined the Marines. I became a Marine, and I love it because there's a brotherhood about the Marines that's just, you can't find it in any other place. And so, yeah, I was grateful for that. Spending my time in the Marine Corps, doing things there has really, really, really changed my life in so many ways. And so I'm extremely grateful for that. But then from there, I came back and went to college at Payne College in Augusta, Georgia. Ended up going to a Christian Bible College, got a master's degree, and then I got a PhD. So I'm really loving what I have done. And so, you know, I'm married with children. My wife and I adopted a child. And so all of it is really well. And I'm grateful for that. So here, then later on when in ministry, I ended up moving to Mobile, Alabama. I love it. Then I went through some transition in my life, went to Florida for a couple of years, started working with the Department of Juvenile Justice, and I came back to Mobile. And I'm so grateful that I did. And so all is well here, and things are really, really working out for me. And I'm grateful for that. Yeah, so that's part of me. I mean, I have written 4 books. My wife and I have built a curriculum, built a company called Dent Enterprises. You know, on that piece, we have 4 divisions of it. There's the PTCW, that's the Power to Create Wealth. That's my wife piece there. What we do is transform communities by one family at a time. That's the real estate investment piece there. Then we have the Complete Thinker. We have the coaching piece, Max Out Coaching. And then also we have New Level Parenting that my wife and I, we are picked up by the Rockefeller Foundation to do this parenting. And it has been a very successful thing for us. So that's part of me. And I enjoy doing that.
Wow, that is a lot. That is a lot. Well, listen, I know that those people that are watching, they want to know what are some of the things you have done to develop yourself personally. So share that with us.
Well, some of the things I have done to develop myself personally, number one thing is, you know, going back to school, you know, just constantly staying engaged in new technology, new learning, new things that are happening in our society that sometimes we get behind the curve. So I wanted to stay abreast of what was going on. And then the other thing I did, I went through a coaching class. And I love going through it. Was Sapphire Coaching with Kevin Glenn. And I went through that process in learning how to coach and how to be a better person, how to be a better listener, how to really draw out the best of people. I mean, so I went through a lot of that. And so I constantly doing this. And you look at my background, I read a lot. I really do read a lot. One book I'm reading right now is called Unstoppable. It's talk about there's different areas of your life that you get to a place that you're going to be a person that you're going to be unstoppable. So I constantly read and I constantly write. And I mean, that's what I do on a consistent basis, because that was my goal this year. I wanted to be a better listener and I wanted to be consistent. So I create these things in my life to do that. My calendar, create goals. I set goals, like you said in my background, that's my vision board. I look at my vision board, I add to my vision board. If I accomplish some things on my vision board, I can check it off and then I create something else. So I'm constantly finding ways to improve myself, because here's my thought. If I can improve myself, I can improve the place I work. I don't try to improve the job. I try to improve me. And if I have that mindset that I'm going to improve my life, I can improve anything around me. So that coaching piece has really helped me a lot. And then I learned how to coach people through their circumstances, through their situation, to get to come to the place that be a better version of themselves. So I love that. That's what I do.
Yeah, well, you definitely hit in my wheelhouse when you talk about being a better version of yourself, because that's something that is so near and dear to my heart, because I tell people no matter where you go, you're there. And if you don't develop personally, you take that same thinking from one relationship to another, from one job to another, from one business to another. So working on yourself is so, so important. And I really love what you said about how much you read, how much you pour into yourself, how much you feed your mind. But then you actually pour out, because you write and you share and you coach. And that to me is so, so important, because we become conduits. We become conduits for the information, for the experiences, for the hope that we have, and we can share that with other people. So with that being said, I want you to take a moment and tell us how you've taken the stuff you learned developing yourself personally, how you use that to help develop other people.
Well, and I think when you ask that question, Cicone, it goes from, if you think about the fact that not only I have done this, but not only just being a pastor in a church and things of that nature, the one particular passage of scripture that I keep like dear to my heart is Matthew chapter 13, Luke chapter 8, and Mark chapter 4. It's dealing with the seed and the sower. And I had to realize the processes. And I go to the place, and I always have this written down in my journal somewhere. And I have it up front, like some of my books. I said, don't forget the mindset of a farmer. And I always keep that in mind, that you have to plow up some virgin turf. And sometimes you have to uproot some things that's been in people's lives for so many years, because a lot of times people are superstitious and they don't even know it, that they maintain these superstitions. So I go to Matthew 13 and I talk about, how do I pull the seed in the soil? What did Jesus do? What was the processes of that? Because I believe all of us go through those 4 cycles. It's for me to do this, I have to be effective with this. I have to respect the fact that the mother of all learning is repetition. They're not going to get it on the first time. Even when you talk about it, they're not going to get it on the second time. They're not going to get it on the third time. On the average, it takes you to repeat it about 14 times before a person gets it. So you have to plow up the ground. Then the second thing is you have to prepare the ground. If the ground is not prepared, you cannot put the seed in there. And how do you prepare a person? That's why I make sure that when I'm really coaching, I understand this whole process of plowing up the ground to get it ready for the seed. Because a lot of times when you're trying to put the seed in first and you haven't plowed the ground, it's going to be like he said, the enemy will come, something will snatch it off and it won't get in. So I understand that process. And when I do that, I do it intentionally. I have to do it intentionally, because in my mind, I realize the seed I have is not going to grow without it being planted in the right soil. But then it has to be cultivated. It has to be watered. It has to be fertilized and all those other things. That's when I see the trials of life is dealing with fertilizing that seed and just getting that seed in the ground like it ought to be, so it can grow. Because the things we put around ourselves can hinder or help the seed in its growth process. Then I get to the place and say, how do I produce more? That's the last part of the seed. How do I produce more? And once I be able to show that to other people, how do I produce more? It's getting into the place they understand the process. They're getting into the place they understand the work they have to do to get there. And so that's when I start pointing at other people so they can do this. I can't do the work for them. That's one thing I learned. I have to help them do the work.
Right, right. I know for myself, being a coach, that's one of the pivotal things about really having a successful client is them understanding that you can't do it for them. You can help them, you can encourage them, you can motivate them. There's so many things you can do, but when it comes down to it, they have to put in the work. And so even with everything that you shared, even with all the stuff that you talked about, I know for a fact that there is somebody out there that really wants to connect with you. They really want to know, how can I follow this guy? How can I find out more about what he's doing? So share that with us now.
Well, there's one thing you can connect on Facebook, and everybody know that I have a Monday morning coffee on Facebook, and I love that. I love just speaking to people's lives, because I also do this thing, but this is for daddy daughters. I do a daddy daughter leadership, and my daughters, we need to get back at it, but it's really pointed to my kids, because I said, what would I tell the younger version of myself? So the younger version of myself are my children. So how do I pour into them? They are the younger version of me. And then the other thing is you can reach me on Facebook. So you can reach me on LinkedIn. You can also go to our website, Dent Enterprises Inc. And you can find us there. And you can connect with us there. You can connect with our Max Out coaching. You can connect with our parenting piece, because we have been picked up by a lot of organizations to do parenting. I mean, from the Boys and Girls Club, from Judge Neiman, for the Excel Day and Evening Academy, we have been put up in place in positions to help parents. Because what we try to do is tell parents this. We don't try to tell you how to parent. We just give you tools in your toolbox or sharpen the tools you already have. Right. So you can find us there. Or you can just look at us and you can call us. The phone number is on the website. You can call us and get in touch with us. If you want a free coaching class, coaching consultant, I will consult you on two free lessons. You get 2 free, and then we'll talk about the contract agreement. But I want to walk you through some things so that you can get to become the best version of yourself. And you can also download the booklet from our website and what we have written about becoming the best version of you.
Okay, well, that is super, super excited. Man, I am so glad that we had a chance to have you on the show, because I know that there's somebody out there that needs your level of expertise and your level of commitment when it comes to actually helping people to be a better version of themselves.
Well, Cicone, before we wrap this up, I want to say this one thing as well. Not only I learned the process of coaching, I even want to tell pastors that a lot of times we try to get to a place that we try to be consultants, or we try to be mentors, and we don't know how to coach because we don't know how to get them to do the work. The second thing is I became a mental health coach with AACC, American Association of Christian Counselors. And when I did that, I wanted to become better in mental health, because a mental health portion of our life is very critical. We can talk about diabetes, we can talk about cancer, we can talk about high blood pressure, all these other things, but we don't talk enough about our mental health. And that's something I really want people to understand. You have to know how to feed your brain the right food so you can be successful mentally. Because a lot of things are stressors. We have stressors in our lives, and we have to be able to address those stressors. Thank you, man. I appreciate this.
No problem. No problem. Man, you can tell that he is passionate about what he does, and so am I. And this is why I connect with people just like him. And listen, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
The wait is finally over for Cicone's most anticipated book of the year, Leadership That Lasts. Passing on 10 solid principles to ensure an enduring legacy. Powerful, effective, impactful, helpful, dynamic, phenomenal, transformative, life-changing. Available now in Amazon. Order yours today.
Man, that interview with Dr. Charles Dent was incredible, because he talked about all of the things that he's done throughout his life to help better himself, but he didn't stop there. See, so many people do that. They stop right where they are when they've gotten all they can and they can all they got. He wanted to give back. And those are the kind of people I want to be around. But you know what? Listening to his interview and listening to what he shared, it really puts me in the mind of this scripture, which is our last word. Galatians chapter 5, verse 7. It says, ye did run well. Who did hinder you that you should not obey the truth? And I know the scripture was making more reference to the fact of faith that the Galatians had and how they had been hindered. But it can also apply to just our belief in ourselves, our belief in our ability to achieve our goals and our dreams. So who's hindering you? Who's stopping you? Is it your own thinking? Is it your own perception of yourself? Have you ever really thought about how incredible you can be if you got out of your own way? And so many people, like I said earlier, the biggest obstacle is right between their ears. It's their mind, how they see themselves, how they view themselves, how they think of themselves. But I know for a fact that if you ever win that battle, there's an African proverb that says, if you conquer the enemy within, the enemy without can do you no harm. And that's true. Our biggest challenge, our biggest fight is in our mind. It's how we view ourselves. But if we truly understand who we are, if we truly understand whose we are, nothing can stop us. But I've learned until we learn that, anything can. So don't let circumstances stop you from going after your goals and your dreams. Know who you are and then go for it. Hey, listen, if you need some help in that area, I am more than happy to help you. You can check out our website, ciconeprince.com/coaching, where you can fill out a questionnaire, get in contact with us, and we can set up a time to help you get to your goals and your dreams. And if you want to keep the show on the air, and if you think that you've gotten something from this show, we have an opportunity for you to donate. You can do that via Cash App. And some people are like, well, I don't have Cash App. Okay, that's fine. Here's our PayPal as well. So you can donate and make sure that this show stays on the air so you can get this valuable information and these incredible guests. And you don't want to miss next week because our guest is going to be fire. And I know I keep saying that, but it is true. Hey, listen, we'll see you next week. Talk to you later. Bye.